Alright, so I'm back using the Ford electronic manual. The file is Ford 2017 to basically try and figure out how to, I've got a good idea already, but how to change the alternator in my Ford Focus 1.5 TDCi 2015. So more like a Mark 3 Ford Focus, Mark 3.5 I like to call it. Alright, so scroll down, find the right menus, lots of it there. I'm looking for the 1.5 TDCi 88 kilowatt or 120 PS, not sure what the PS stands for. So when I click on that, it says I need some sort of special tool, wrench for the generator. That usually worries me if I need a special wrench, but we'll see. Okay, so it says here refer disconnect battery. Fair enough. Not sure about this diesel particulate filter. Maybe it's something that's in the way, so I'm not sure about that. So obviously that side is the right side of the engine, that's the left, and the alternator is down here. It's indicating torque 25 newton meters, 10 newton meters, 10 newton meters, and it's saying number 1 is here. Take that off. That's 25 newton meters when you tighten it. Number 2 is here. That's 10 newton meters. So it's this. I do recognise that plastic pipe. I haven't got the car with me at the moment. I do recognise that plastic. Basically, take the pipe out. Three places. I'm not sure. Take that out. It does look like the dipstick. The pipe, if you take that out, that should just pop out. If I'm not wrong, there's like an O-ring at the bottom. So take the dipstick out. Okay, to make more room. It's 8 newton meters. I think that's what it's referring to. I'm not sure at all what this is. I have not a clue. Why would I be taking it out? Maybe it's in the way of that bolt there, because the alternator is fastened at 4 places. Not sure what that is. Why is that a hole there? We'll find out eventually. So there's one bolt there, 8 newton meters. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know at all what that is. Why is that there? And then, so now we come to more familiar things. This is a 15 centimeter spanner, the gape of it, and that's the tensioner. It's basically like an I-beam. You put it's in shape of an I-beam. Put the spanner on it. You pull down in that direction. We're looking from the right of the car into there. So now we're talking about the right of the car, whereas before when I was talking about that side was really more like the left side, and that's the right. So I better recorrect myself. So that's the left side of the car. That's the right side of the car. In UK, your driving position would be here. Passenger would be here. Right. So tensioner, pull down, remove the belt. Luckily it's a very simple, it's not going around 30 different kind of pulleys. The tensioner sits on top there, but basically you put it around these 3 pulleys, and then there's your alternator, and then the tensioner goes on top. Simple as that. And the little trick is 2mm drill bit, put it in that hole there. So I'm guessing pull that back, put the drill bit in, because otherwise if you was just to let that go without any, if you was to remove the belt and just let it go, it'll just go round and round, go around 30 times, and that would be it. Basically, you will not be able to wind that back round accurately or properly anymore. Or possibly it might flip over, but I think the tension is so high in that you need such a big spanner, you won't be able to do it by hand. So do as what this says. Pull it back, put the drill bit in it, pull it back somewhat so that flanges over there by the hole, put the drill bit in, and then you can remove the tension. As simple as that. That's what I will do. So the torque, not very high for the tension, only 25 newton meters. So all this is useful information. Three nuts or 3 bolts looks like, and it comes out. So someone's already put ideally someone's already put the drill bit through it. This would actually be a bit further over, I guess, because there's no belt there now, and the drill bit's in there to hold it, and then 3 bolts, and it pops out. So this is obvious. This is where the electrical cable goes. That's not too hard to understand. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's probably like a protector from rust, I think, maybe. Okay, so it's talking about that service tool 3031557. What on earth is that? Is that the one at the top? Oh yes, it is. So I don't like the look of that. Hopefully I've got the right tool. So it's saying yes, I need that. Why do I need that? Don't know. 45 newton meters for 1 and 2. Sorry, for 1. So on this side, on the right side of the engine, 45 and 39 newton meters on this side. Remember all that, so I'll have to come back and ask you, or look at this video, because I might not be able to have this forward thing to help me where I'm going to fix it. Alright, so all the bolts going like so, they're all going like that. Simple as that. Don't mix up the bolts, they probably are different length, and that is it. It says install reversal of removal, so I have to do this. My alternator is absolutely shot. There's no electricity coming out. There's no choice. Why is there a picture of a tape? Don't know. Maybe put the drill bit through and then tape it up. I'm not sure what it means by that. Or use a bit of tape to, oh, that's probably what it means. Use a bit of tape to wrap around the drill bit, because the picture of the tape is connected to the drill bit. Wrap around the drill bit, make it bigger. Probably that is probably too loose, so make it bigger and then pop it through. That's what I think it means. Alright, okay, I'll have to find I'm not doing it this week, not even this weekend. I'll have to find a good slot. It'll probably be in the dark, so I'll put on the floodlights. I've got the car parked next to the garage, so I'll put the floodlights on, get as much light in there as possible. I'll be underneath the car, jacking it out, of course. I'll be on the slope as usual, but on good axle stands with not breeze blocks, but they're solid concrete blocks for wheel chocks. Nice and safe, hopefully. Alright, so next picture is probably going to be in the dark. Right, thanks for watching so far. If you want to hit the like button, hit the like button now, and watch me struggle, and I probably will struggle, and I'll keep all my mistakes in all my videos, because everyone makes mistakes, but in a lot of their, but they don't show their mistakes. But I do. I show my mistakes because it helps you guys. It helps you guys when you do it. You can avoid my mistake because you've seen me. I've just done it, and I'll tell you what went wrong. Right, that's it. Let's get on with it. Right, here I am. I'm going to try and do freezing cold night on the Ford Focus 1.5 TTCI. I am going to try and do in one night. If not, it will take 2 nights. Change the alternator. It's deep in there, not good. 4 bolts come in, one on top of each other, I think, like that way and that way. 2 from the right side, 2 from the left. These are in the way. If you go from underneath, the air conditioning pump's in the way. However, I have one advantage. I don't need that air conditioning pump. I know there's no fluid in there, so it might be quicker if I kind of just take off the air conditioning pump to get at from underneath to get at the alternator. But I will start disconnecting things from up here, and I will, as you can see, I'm targeting this pipe, that bit there, this pipe, this thing here, that bolt there. There's the tensioner on there. When I get those 2 off, I'm thinking of obviously loosening the belt. 15 centimeter spanner I need to pull back. I need a 2mm screw drill bit to put in the hole. There's the hole. I can just see it there. You can just see it right there. My finger is. See where there's a hole? Drill bit goes in there, holds back the tensioner, and the tensioner can be removed. I'm not going to, might not use a drill, but I might use one of those timing belt changing thing. I wonder if it fits. If not, it'll be a 2mm drill bit. Maybe, probably will be a 2mm drill bit. It's quite thin, isn't it? Right. So things that look ugly and hellish when you first do them, that's the way it is, I'm afraid. Modern cars, old cars, you just basically dived in there, literally dived in there, unbolted a few things that have come out. But not modern cars, I'm afraid. And this is one's no exception. Right, so I'm looking to, and it's because it's cold, things are brittle. I've got to be careful of that. Things are brittle. That pipe shouldn't be there. It should be in there. Things like that would not work, because that pipe there will wear out after a while, sitting on top there vibrating. So it shouldn't have been there. It should have been in like that, stuck in there like that, so it's not moving. Anyway, it needs to come out now. Let's get going, and I'll tell you exactly what I ended up. I did that one by hand. It was like a funny looking black screw with a top on it for the something to sit on top of. 8mm there. And it's already looking a bit loose. So now I can bend this down and get this one here. Obviously I've loosened 7 and there. That's loose now. Well, this thing here, you don't need to force it or anything. Wiggled it from here first. Obviously these are loose. These won't come out, they're stuck on. Wiggled it from there, that came off, and then that one came off. And then I just slipped it under and then pulled it out. So it's that one. So even straight away, like, that doesn't look so menacing anymore. That's the way it is. Not so menacing. So see if we can get this bad boy off. Right, okay, 13mm down here to hold this bracket in there. The 7s and the 7s. I'm going to put that one back on. You just need to do the one furthest out. Sorry, you need to do the one furthest out near the engine. So the 7 holds that pipe. I'm going to put that back in. Just need to do this one. Wiggle, not wiggling, wiggle, and it comes out. And then just need to do them two, look like 8mm. On that bracket should separate from that metal bracket, or I could just push it out, push out from the back here and here, and it might just separate and leave the take the metal bracket with us. Right, so after that pipe, vertical one's removed, this got to come out because it's really in the way. To get at these, well, basically the little cabling fits in here, 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 and here. I got this tiny little plier and I went from here to pull them out. I just tried shoving it in through that way, it didn't work. Get in there and just pull them out. Right, I'm going to uncouple the belt. I do remember I've got to take this out. Don't be lazy and leave that in, because as you pull it back it traps it. So 15 spanner with an extension bar. Put it back, get a 2mm drill bit ready. I don't think anything else will fit at 2mm. So it should come out fairly straightforwardly, hopefully, saying that. Little yellow tag in there. Pushing the yellow tag, click. Anyway, I'll get that out. Right, the end of that, I definitely 4.5mm nearly fit. Definitely 3 fits. 2 is way too thin. That's almost slipping in there. So I'm going to try this. I think this is 4mm. You better, you have a selection if you want. What I've got to do is put that back. Slip that in without chopping my fingers off. I always say a little prayer before you do things, because this is on high tension now. Look, see how that's not. It's hard to do. Can't remember how I did last time. It's just not enough. Just sort of bring this around the other way. Angled spanner. Just slightly not enough room. In sideways. Slip it in sideways. You know, a little bit of tension is really stopping it. Playing ball. A straight spanner might be about right there. An angle one way's too much and the other way's not enough. So there's a lot of tension on there. But I'll work it out. So that took a 4.5mm in the end. I don't like the way that over them cables, so I need to get the belt off and then the tension off as it is, and not to move it. As you can see, it's fairly straightforward, ribbed. It's worth putting a little arrow or something there to notice that direction. So it just goes round the big one, over the pulley, the pulley for the alternator, the aircon pulley, tensioner pulley, and you know, it's not confusing, but put an arrow there because you want it going in the same direction. Well, if I go out taking nuts and bolts, I'm going to take this tensioner off. Crucial, the amount of tension I need to put on it. Don't remember the numbers, I probably read it out. It's probably in a video further back in my filming, but I'm going to basically I'm going to have to kind of wing it or look back at the video. But I think there's 3 or 4. Trying to do things like chip bits off it or weaken it. 10mm. Careful it doesn't fall on the floor because that would instantly cause a big problem. Check the bearings. You know, when I took the belt off, I should have remembered, buy a spare belt, you know, the drive belt, because it's the old one was a bit cracked. I'll show you. Right, the old one, just right where I drew the little white, look at that split. How long do you reckon that would have lasted? I don't know, not that long. So luckily I had the old belt, the one I removed when I changed the timing belt, and that looks in a lot better shape. I kept it. So I'm going to put this back on. I'm just going to double check all the ribs are the same numbers and I'll put it back on later. As it stands, I can see this bolt here, the other side I can see below, but this side, no chance. I can't see that bolt at all. It's well hidden. So I might go in for feelers with, I can see a cable fitting in somewhere. I might go in with some feelers to see if I can use a spanner to undo it somehow. Maybe like an angled ring spanner, maybe. If not, other things are going to have to come up. Right, I'm going to take off the air conditioning pump. I think that might give me access to that bottom right bolt. Watch how to change the aircon in this car to do that whilst I'm not going to show you that. I've showed you already. Look at my other video. Aircon for the 1.5 TDCI. And then that will relieve the bottom, big chunk off the bottom, and I'll see it much better. I haven't got any aircon gas in there, so I'm not that bothered. Oh, do things like put a plastic bag over that kind of air in case something drifts into it in the wind. Okay. So from underneath the left, so the pipe, the aircon pipe on this side, on the right side of the car, we call that the right side, the driver's side, is just a 13 open spanner 13, comes off rubber washer. Nothing much to it. Rubber washer is where it is. I think on this one I'll be a bit more careful. On this one, on the left hand aircon pipe, there is a washer that falls out. So it's difficult to get to. There's no space in this. You have a very short spanner. So I'm using a crow's foot 13. When that sits on there properly, like it does there right now, I will be able to use a 3/8 to turn it. Because I'm underneath the thing, I'm going to have to do it reverse, set it to tighten to undo it. If you think about it, I'm going to do that. It's going to turn that way, so if you look from above, it's going to undo it. Well, I can't do it with both hands. Holding the camera, one hand. Right, crow's foot from above, not from below. No, don't use a straight socket, it won't work, won't be able to fit. So crow's foot at an angle, 2 wobble bars. 2 3/8 wobble bars, and then I should be able to turn it and do that. The left hand one, which is on, the left hand one on the car, but obviously we're looking at it from the front of the car and it's the right hand one, but it's the left hand according to the car's dimensions. So I've got to watch out for washer. And then there's going to be 3 or 4 bolts, 10 mils going into the aircon pump. Forget the 3/8. Just go with the 1/4 inch deep shank. Oh, I don't know what it's called. Deep socket. 13, 2 wobble bars. I did use crow's foot underneath on the 3/8 to loosen it first, but you probably could do it with this setup here. It'd probably be better. You probably less chance of cross-threading it. Right, there's the. I need a bit of a pry bar to pry that off. It won't come in nicely, but that washer there, that's the one I mean, the metal washer. It doesn't come out. That's okay. Just letting them dangle. These are 8. No, they're not 8. Going to be 9, because this is, unless I picked up a completely wrong one. That says 8. That's not fitting. 10 didn't fit. So yeah, that's 10. Just can't see very well at the moment. So that is quite tight. Obviously, I'm trying to loosen it. So now I've got a good idea how tight that was. Do the same for the other ones. Right, so this electrical cable clip that sets the clutch, feel for a little clip, little push down clip. I'm going to try and show you. There it is, where my thumb is. Yeah, it sits in there like that, so it's on the left hand side of the car, orientation to the car. Sits in there, tiny press and that, and then it will hear it pop, and then you pull it out. Left the last bolt in there. Sits on the dowel. I need to shove it that way or crowbar it that way, and it'll come out 2 dowels. Right, that's the aircon pump out. So it was sitting like that, wasn't it? I think in the car, left hand side of the car is that way. There's the little clip where it goes in. That's the thing you've got to push down to release it. You can't. You might be able to just take it off. Take the pump out, push the, and then take the clip off. You might as well take it off if you can. If you can't, just take the pump off and then take out the clip. It's quite difficult. So if you want to change the aircon pump, that's how you do it. And it should be on this side. I've got to keep the washer. This washer will get lost. It's not there now. It's on the end of the pump. Okay, I can see a bit better now. Let's see. These 2 I can see anyway. These 2 bolts, they look like 15s. I'm not sure. 15s maybe. I can see the bottom left one, that side. I'm looking for the top one. That's the one that's a bit difficult to find. I'll tell you when I found it. Right, I should have just looked at the opposite bolt. Bolt there, obviously, the other one's there. It's hard to see. Get the light, you just about see it. You can see where it touches. Look, you can see the end just here where the hole is, so it's the opposite of that. It looks accessible from the top, to be honest. I'm not sure I need to remove this. Now that the bottom, I think we're removing all this lot is to get the bottom bolt, and the bottom bolt is visible. That's the bottom bolt. That's visible. Looks like a connector hopefully it's not idiot proof when I get it mixed up. The connector here needs to come off. That's the easy one, I can see that one. Electrical connectors here. Usually it's three cables that go in. That one looks easily pop outable. Cables out first, of course. You'll snap something. If you do struggle, do you want to be dangling on there? No, you don't. So I'll get the cables out first. Let's see if I can get this one while I'm down here. God, I should just reinvent these things to make it a bit easier. I tell you. Definitely I can press it up. Usually you hear a click. Might need a little pair of pliers or something. I'm not sure, but be careful with pliers. This is such a difficult job. I've got to go work tomorrow. It's about 10:30 tonight. I think I managed to crack it. Okay. These bolts are longer. See them? From here to here, quite long. A couple of inches. Those bolts there, notice there's a hole there. See that? The bolts on this side are shorter. Right? That's the key. So I can get this one off, the bottom one off, and I've undone the bottom bolt on this side until it's so much, right? But I'll show you, it will hit. My jacket's caught on something, right? It will hit on something, which I will show you. Kind of doing this to teach myself really for tomorrow. Oop. See that? See, I've done that bolt as much as I can. It's even loose, right? But it's going to whack on something. But what it is if I've got that one off, this side off, that one side off, I will be able to move the alternator that way to the right, and then I can carry on undoing it. See that? So, and also above. Right, okay. I have to say this again. Right, okay. These bolts 16, take them off, top and bottom. These bolts on this right hand side, these bolts here are longer than the left hand side ones. They're much shorter, so that's the key, right? So I've done the bottom one, believe me, I'm not going to show you, but I've done the bottom bolt until it's right out, but it's hit against that metal, so it won't go anymore. But however, if I take this bolt out, this bolt, bottom bolt out, and this bolt, use a 16 open, put it in there, it just sat about here, this angle. I press down, crack the bolt, and then I'm just angling the spanner until it sits in this crevice here. See that crevice? And I'll do the rest of this job tomorrow. And I'm taking the bolt. So I'll just take it, keep spinning the bolt, and then eventually I'll move the alternator that way. I'll move the alternator that way, and I should be able to get the rest of the bolt out. Fingers crossed. I think that's correct. I'm thinking. Yeah, I think my thinking is correct. I think. Yep. Okay. Right. So next evening, I would say, even colder than yesterday or thereabouts. So I had a little think yesterday, and my plan, I said I'm going to carry on doing, because both the brackets, the brackets from the cars here and the brackets from the alternators here, so that it slides out that way, right? So take the two bolts on the left out, on the right side of the car, so on the heels on the left, take them two right hand bolts out, and then undo as much as I can, and then keep pushing the alternator that way. All right, but I will be doing a little kind of like a precaution, which is I will be putting like a strong magnet just here, super strong magnets. I might leave this link in the description. I won't find any more of them, because basically if when I'm keep pushing this back, imagine that little bolt has fallen, has gone that way, what's going to happen? As soon as I take it off, it's going to fall backwards and disappear. So I'm going to put a very strong magnet here and also on the bottom as well. First things first, to take off the power. You don't want to be disconnecting alternators with the power. Where I'm with this is gotten it out a fair bit, that bolt on the left side, you know, that side. This bolt's still there, so it's about the time where I take this bolt off and shift it over this way whilst that bolt is still attached. I don't want it suddenly falling out. So at some point the shaft is gonna stick out, and it should come dislodged whilst the shaft is still sitting in the bracket, if you see what I mean, of the bolt. Still there, but I'm still going to use the magnets. Okay, and also what I want to show you is this. So let's investigate, once we got this up here, once and for all, how to do these with the thing out of the car. Much easier. So that is a nice click. Honestly, it's a nice click, nice pop as well. Easy, you can hear it. So if I do that, if it's in there, probably hear a click and then pop. Easy as that. I'll try to do that. Okay, this one is got a cap. Okay, so it's a cap, rubber cap. Inside the rubber cap, it looks like possibly a 13. So it's just two cables. I'm pleased about that. Pretty straightforward. I don't know if I've got 13. I can pull out. No. 13. Let me find the right one. Yeah, 13. Right. I am going to paint a splodge of paint on there so I don't get confused, which is a good one. So from above I can see it. Don't want to be mistakenly putting the wrong one back in. Just paint it. Right, that's a good one. Remember that for me. Okay, so take this off. This will come out eventually. I'm going to put probably some contact cleaner on these joints, contact points there, really. Okay. Right, that one there, top right. Sorry, left hand side engine, top bolt fell out anyway. There is a washer. There's a metal washer on the top, but not on the bottom in my car. So I'll show you. Right, so on the alternator that came, that's a metal washer. Top and bottom, both on the left hand side bolts. They fit in like that. So obviously there's the bracket, metal bracket, then the washer. But on my car I haven't got the one on the bottom, so I suspect there's a slightly different design. Understand it. A couple of tips here. My thing, this bottom, wherever that is, the negative, would not come out at all. Press that, pliers, everything. So what I did was put a little, from underneath, put a little screwdriver on the side, not here, because there's a little kind of stopper there, so you don't want to get anywhere. Just from the side, lifted it a little bit, and then it came out. Right, another tip, I put the bolt back in the bottom, so on the right hand side, bottom bolt back in, top bolt I'm going to do first, because I'm going to come from underneath, and I'm going to undo the bolt, and it's going to fall. Right? If I don't do it from the top, it's going to drop. I won't be able to catch it. So all the cables are undone. I'm using a magnet to trap. There's a washer there. There's that metal washer just here. It's probably equivalent on the other side, but I just can't see it. It's in here. So in case that falls out. Okay. You know that black elongated washer with a split in it sits in there, look. You can see it actually sits in that crevice now. Alright. So it doesn't protrude out. It just sits in there. Okay, the way it is that black washer is in there. It's got a split in it. It's quite tight. It inserts in nicely. So I'm just going to leave that. That one I've left it with a magnet sticking in. See it? I'm just going to leave that. I don't even think that will come out. But removing the magnet, it might go that way, but I'm just going to leave it like that. So it gives it a little bit of kind of cotter pin kind of a dowel pin kind of thing. So that's out now. That is it really. Hit the like button please. A lot of work showing you guys this stuff. You know, I make all the mistakes and whatever, so you don't have to. And it seems easy when you know how, but so many people just put, oh, you should have done this way, you should have done that. Believe me, if you do something like this wrong, something will go completely pear-shaped. You got to take each step real careful, and be blessed that people do take their time and YouTube it to help everyone, right? Alright, so here's the 40 alternator. Time to match it up. It's about the same. Slightly different here though, isn't it? It's just got like a cap on. The old one's got a cap, new one's got a missing cap, which is okay. As it fell out, doesn't make any difference as long as it protrudes the same. Count the ribs: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 ribs. 2, 3, 4, 5 ribs. Looks exactly the same. Hopefully it works. Alright, last thing before I go install. Moved all the cables out of the way, including this thing that keeps getting in the way, the aircon cable fluid. Right, so I've installed the bolt back in the top. The black washer's in there, and I'll put my magnet against it there, so it's protruding a little bit out to give it like a dowel kind of thing. See if I can get a better shot of that. It's hard to do. See if I can get a steady shot of it. Point to it using a pointer. There. There it is. It's back in. Same deal with the bottom one. Right. I'm going for underneath. Put the bolt in underneath first on there, right inside of the engine, and then quickly come up to the top and put the top on in, and then try and shove it over that way, and then just do the reverse. A little bit tightening here, a little bit tightening here, and then start tightening these ones on the side as soon as possible. So reinstalling, have the left hand bolts in, tiny bit sticking out, insert it up, put the thumb tighten a few turns on the right hand side bolts, and then shift the thing over that way so you can push the, see how the shaft is prodding out now? Now I can line it up with a screw, just a case of without, you know, if it's not, it will just fall backwards. I'll just go over the action how I'm tightening this. Pull it, tighten it, pull it out, spin the spanner out, straight spanner. Now you can get it from this side now. You're doing about 1/8 of a turn every time you pull it out. So you turn it, bring it out, spin the like that. So it's going to take a long time, but it's working. So I'm prioritising the left-hand bolts, the small, short ones. Then I'll finger tight, well, kind of mostly tighten the rest of them, and then fully tighten the left, then fully tighten the right. And they feel, when I took them off, I needed an extender bar, remember? So I'll put them back on with, well, not this one, I won't be able to do it with extender bar, but the other 3 I'll use an extender bar. Not too tight, because sometimes you've got to remember, bolts sometimes get tighter inside. You tighten it 10mm and then you got to take something off, and like a year later it's like 30-40mm. It's really strange. Not sure why that is. Right, to get at this one here, that will not fit. I'm saying that it fits now, but anyway, the ring spanner part fits, but it won't fit here. It will just fit there. So you have to kind of shimmy it around, and it'll just do a few degrees. Also, I wouldn't advise using the extension bar, cranking it on there and putting loads of torque on it. It's usually things get tighter, I think, in cases like this. If you've got your spanner now, just, you know, pretty tight, that would do. That would do, I would say. As long as it tightens up until you can't really turn it anymore, that would do. Well, everything's back in. Just a cover left, a couple of covers left. Crank it up and test the voltage. That's the key thing. You have plenty of volts in there from charging it. Right. We're looking for 14, anything around the 14 mark would be good, 15 even. Oh, that's good. 14.9, that's lovely, lovely. Well, thanks for watching. Of course, I'm on the slope. I won't forget to put it on in gear before I lower it, so gotta be careful when I'm lowering it. Always check underneath the car for any kind of extra kind of brackets or stands that I've left in there, any tools, etc. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's been very cold, but I managed to do it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.